Thank you for coming.
So if you motion, make sure they know to second.
Well, we would have to cancel. We wouldn't have a quorum.
It looks like it's on, if you want to call it to order.
Ready? All right. Today's meeting of the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is called to order on August 25th, 2021. Welcome, everyone. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Agendas of today's meeting are on the wall at the entrance to the chambers. Please remember to turn off all cell phones. The Municipal Code Enforcement Board consists of 7 members who are appointed by the City Council. We serve voluntarily. It's the board's intention to promote, protect, and improve the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Clearwater by providing this equitable, effective, and inexpensive method of enforcing certain codes within the city. The board considers new business items in 2 parts. First, the violation, and then affirmative relief. Formal rules of evidence do not apply. Each side is limited to 15 minutes. The board may grant additional time. All proceedings will be conducted in a calm, civil manner. Individuals who conduct themselves otherwise will be asked to leave. If necessary, they will be escorted from the chambers. Now I ask all who plan to speak to please rise to be sworn in by the clerk.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth throughout your entire testimony?
Our first order of business is to review and approve the minutes of last month's meeting. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes?
I second.
Minutes are approved. Is there anyone here to speak today to items that are not on the agenda? Please step up to the podium and state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes to speak on the subject.
My name is Charles H. Cullen. I live at 1856 Francis Drive, Clearwater. I'm here to speak about 1862 Francis Drive. For years, my family has lived next to something that looks like a dumpster that has exploded. We live in a nice neighborhood. No one else treats their yard like that. I spoke with the city 30 days ago, and they know the woman by name. My primary concern, and I understand it's not on the agenda today, and it will be in a couple of months, but the Clearwater website repeatedly says that departments will cooperate, communicate, and that code enforcement will assure compliance to maintain property values. And based on the way our street and neighborhood looks right now, our property values are not what they should be at the height of property value season. So I understand this issue's on the agenda in October. And I will see you all then. But I wanted to make sure that we're on your radar.
We appreciate that, Mr. Combs. Thank you. And
Thank you very much.
Anyone else for items not on the agenda today? Come, please. Please step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Julian Netter. My address is 2946 Gulf to Bay, Florida. I'm in Clearwater. Netter, N-E-T-T-E-R. 2946 Gulf to Bay. So essentially my question was around, I'm a small business owner in this community. And so when I first moved here, I noticed that, we have a building there. It's called the UDC, United Autos and Confederacy. And I'm not sure if anybody here is familiar with this. It's the 3rd or 4th building that you actually arrive at when you come to this county. I moved from Hillsborough, Tampa to Pinellas, and it's a building donated, dedicated to essentially white supremacy. It sits in between the synagogue and the Philadelphia Phillies baseball offices. So I just thought it was very, kind of interesting as a citizen to see the UDC there. If we're familiar at all with the Tampa Bay Times article, Failure Factories, discussed a lot about the failure of black students, particularly at Campbell Park Elementary and other schools in our district. So I thought it was kind of a juxtaposition to have here something. If we're not familiar with the UDC, they were implicitly involved in the kind of reshaping of America's history. And so as far as curriculum is concerned, they're very influential. Additionally, in this community, I actually had a one-on-one with Mayor Frank Hibbert last year during the pandemic. You guys had a list of agenda items to deal with in the wake of the George Floyd, Breonna Taylor killings. And so I never really heard anything on that. There was a city council member, Kathleen Beckman, that I actually talked to face-to-face about these issues. We met here in the library. And being a small black business owner, one thing I noticed in this community is there are hardly any of us. I actually attempted to meet with Ms. Beckman on a Sunday just to support a black business at a black business on Sunday, and what we discovered is that there are 0 black businesses open on Sunday in this community. So understanding the history of the McMullen family, whom I met, the Booth family, and the Coachman family, these were all families who established this particular area with the help of black people. If we understand the very first, sort of economic vehicle in this area was the circus that was brought down in Bradenton for their winter headquarters. And so dredging this land here and creating a hospitable atmosphere that we still make billions of dollars off of as a community, African Americans are completely shut out from this process. My company is in the infrastructure business. It's called We Are the Builders. We Are the Builders. And so we're looking to really sit down with the city, look at some of the CRAs, and look at some of the investments that we can put back in the black community. We need to employ black men and boys in this industry. There's a gentleman by the name of Jerome Hill. He is the chairperson of the Florida Council on the Social Status of Black Men and Boys. I'm in communication with him and my organization, as well as Zebby Atkinson, who's the local NAACP president, Miss Maria Scruggs, who I've worked for before in the St. Pete office, as well as the Manatee office. We're all kind of collaborating in order to have some impact on black men and boys in our community and use these CRAs in order to help businesses like mine put black men and boys back to work and hopefully have some impact on a lot of the negative data that we happen to be a part of.
Thank you, Mr. Nutter. Thank you for bringing this attention to this forum and being a dedicated citizen and business owner in this community.
Thank you. So is there any way that we could possibly, get some information about going forward and seeing exactly what the city's budget is and what we're allocating and kind of, because I've asked for that paperwork to be emailed to me when I spoke to Ms. Beckman, and obviously she's not here anymore. So I would love to get some data about what we're spending in city dollars, whether that's CDFI funds, if they're NMTC's, new market tax credits, or tax incremental funding. Where can we find that research?
Leave your phone number, and I will follow up with you.
Thank you.
Here's my card. This is the Municipal Code Enforcement Board, and Kathy Beckman is on the city council. So she's still with the city, but this may not be the board that we wanted to address. But please send me an email, and we'll put you guys through it more. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Is there anyone else here to speak on items not on the agenda? Okay. Next on the agenda are new business items. All right, case number 90-21, Roberta Spathari and Ardit, I'm going to butcher this, at 712 South Glenwood Avenue.
Good afternoon, Board. Julie Phillips, Inspection Specialist for the city. The owner is not here. However, the property was brought into compliance prior to the hearing, so I'll be requesting a declaration of violation.
May I have a motion?
So I move to find the respondent was in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit. In this case, the violation was corrected prior to today's hearing, and to enter an order that no fine be imposed. If the respondent repeats the violation, the board may order a fine of up to $500 for each day the violation continues to exist.
Do you have a second?
I'll second the motion.
We accept? Sorry. All in favor? All right. Case number 9121, PJ's Auto World, Inc. at 516 Phoenix Avenue.
This is also going to be a declaration of violation. They came into compliance before the hearing. So I'll be requesting a declaration of violation for hauling trailer at this location.
Okay, do I have a motion on the declaration?
I move to find the respondent was in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case. The violation was corrected prior to today's hearing and to enter an order that no fine be imposed. If the respondent repeats the violation, the board may order a fine of up to $500 for each day the violation continues to exist.
A second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, case number 9321, Christine Dorsalis at 214 South Highland Avenue in repeat violation. Is anyone here to speak?
I guess not. Would you like me to go through the presentation or just go to the recommendation page? This is a repeat violation case for grass parking.
Anyone? Do you want them to go through? Motion?
Is it repeat?
It's a
Yeah,
repeat.
For grass parking.
I'm comfortable.
I think we can just skip to the motion. Motion on declaration. Anyone have a
Well,
first?
there was Daniel Casman, Code Enforcement Inspector for the City of Clearwater. This is for 214 South Highland Avenue, case number 9321 for a repeat violation of grass parking. Property for today, we're requesting a fine of $250 per day per violation for the following dates that the violation was observed. July 1st, 2021, July 6th, 2021, July 12th, 2021, July 15th, 2021, July 20th, 2021, July 22nd, 2021, August 9th, 2021, August 12th, 2021, August 19th, 2021, and August 24th, 2021 for grass parking repeat violation for 10 days at $250, requesting a violation fine in the amount of $2,500.
I need to make the first motion.
Did you guys have any questions?
I don't.
Okay.
Do we start off with the first motion first?
Yes.
Okay. So I move to find the respondent was in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case and has committed a repeat violation.
Do I have a second?
I second it.
Motion approved.
And then we'll need a motion on the second portion.
So I move to enter an order that of a fine of $250 per day to be imposed for the 10 days, you said?
10 days, yes.
10 days, the repeat violation existed for a total fine of $2,500 payable within, you said 30? Was your recommendation 30 days?
Yes.
If the fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien. If the respondent repeats the violation, the board may order a fine of up to $500 for each day if the violation continues to exist.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Second, and motion approved.
I did.
Thank you.
We have to call for approval.
Sorry.
It was only a second, but it wasn't.
So there was a motion and a second, and then is everyone in favor?
Yeah, that's, we probably skipped.
Oh.
Everyone in favor?
Is everyone in favor? All right. Case number 95-21, find respondent Alan Dodd at 3013 Sarah Drive in violation of code for permits. Is anyone here to speak on this case? Alan Dodd,
Oh, my apologies. This is going to be continued. We found out this afternoon that this case will be continued to the September 22nd.
okay. Case number 96-21, Leonardo Varela at 1465 Sunset Point Road in violation of code for signage without permits. Is anyone here to speak on this?
I don't believe so. This has not come into compliance.
Okay, may I have a, yeah.
I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case.
I second.
Okay,
All in favor?
all in favor?
Hello, Board. Daniel Knight, Sign Inspector with the City of Clearwater. This is case 96-21 for 1465 Sunset Point Road. There are two violations at this property, one for signage erected without permits, and the second for excessive window signage. The city is asking compliance on or before September 25th of 2021, or a fine of $150 per day that the violation continues to exist. We are asking the board to authorize the following. After 3 months from the recordation date of such lien, if the fines and fees remain unpaid, the city's attorney's office is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien using any legal or equitable remedies available under the law. Compliance can be met for signage erected without permits by either obtaining a sign permit allowing the attached sign currently erected at the property to remain, or by removing the unpermitted signage from the property and refrain from re-erecting any permanent signage at the property without first obtaining the proper permits. Compliance can be met for excessive window signage by reducing the amount of window signage at the property so that it does not exceed 25% or 50 square feet of the total window area for each unit, whichever is less. And these are just some pictures so that you can see. The Celtec sign with the arrow, that sign was erected without permits, and I have a better shot of the window signage. Being that this is a meat house, the verbiage plus all of the diagrams are being sold in this property, so it becomes signage. It's not just art. And then the Celtec as well went and put the majority of their window area as signage.
But this is the same owner for both spaces?
The owner of the property owns the meat market, not the Celtec. I have spoken to both of them on multiple occasions. There were more violations at the property to begin with, and a couple of them have come into compliance, but these two have remained. And these cases were opened originally back on 3/25 of this year.
But the violation is for Leonardo.
I'm sorry?
The violation, the respondent is Leonardo Varela? That
Ye-
he's the meat
He
house.
is the property owner.
Oh, he's the property owner for the
And
entire
he
building.
owns the meat market.
I understand. All right. Do you have any questions? Do you have a recommendation?
Yes, compliance on or before September 25th of 2021, or a fine of $150 per day that the violations continue to exist.
So I move to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violations on or before September 25th. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day each violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, case number 9721, find respondent Public Supermarket at 130 Island Way in violation of code for business tax receipt is required. Is there
This-
anyone here? Is that yours as well?
This violation has come into compliance.
Okay. Moving right along. Case 9821,
Sorry.
Gotta do the
You need a motion for the
declaration.
I move to find the respondent was in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case. The violation was corrected prior to today's hearing, and to enter an order that no fine be imposed. If the respondent repeats the violation, the board may order a fine up to $500 for each day the violation continues to exist.
I second that motion.
and all in favor? Motion approved. Case number 98-21, finds respondent Vali Subramanian at 820 South Fort Harrison Avenue in violation of code for signage without permits. Is there anyone here to speak over this case?
I don't believe so. I have spoke to the property owner. She informed me she wouldn't be able to attend. And my recommendation, or the city's recommendation, is off of what she feels is an obtainable time frame to meet compliance.
You have spoken with her.
Yes. Daniel Knight, sign inspector with the city of Clearwater. This is case 98-21 for 820 South Fort Harrison Avenue, and the violation is for awning signage erected without permits. The city is asking compliance on or before October 25th of 2021, or a fine of $150 per day that the violation continues to exist. We are asking the board to authorize the following. After 3 months from the recordation date of such lien, if the fines and fees remain unpaid, the city's attorney's office is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien using any legal or equitable remedies available under the law. Compliance can be met for awning signage erected without permits by either obtaining proper permits to allow the awning signs currently erected to remain at the property, or by removing the unpermitted awning signs from the property and refraining from re-erecting any permanent signage without first obtaining the proper permits. And this is just some photos of the violation. The massage business did come into compliance, but the salon and nail spa still haven't. I have spoke to both business owners, and they informed me that they are in the process of trying to obtain permits.
Your recommendations, Daniel?
The recommendation is compliance on or before October 25th of 2021, or a fine of $150 per day that the violation continues to exist.
So you're working with the business owners, even though the building is owned by?
I'm sorry?
You're working with the business owners, even though the building is owned by Ms. Vaughn?
I've spoke with the property owner, and the property owner spoke with their tenants. After speaking with them, she told me that she feels that the 60 days is enough time to do what her tenants have told her that they will be able to do. And then both tenants called me after our conversation with the property owner.
Okay, good. Any questions, board? Okay.
So I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case.
9821.
Oh, no, are we doing the first motion first?
Yes.
Yeah, so we need a second for the first motion.
I move to enter an order requiring.
We have a motion on the
Just-
floor, I just need a second.
Just need a second.
It's okay.
And then
All in
And then we need
favor?
the second motion.
aye.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And now the second motion, right?
I move to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violation on or before October 25th, 2021. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day each violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Daniel. Case number 99-21, respondents Wynn Family Properties, Inc. at 2456 Gulf de Bay Boulevard in violation of code for signage without permits. Anyone? Is that
This
wrong?
violation has been corrected, and the city is seeking a declaration of violation.
Okay. May I have a motion on the declaration?
I move to find the respondent was in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case. The violation was corrected prior to today's hearing, and to enter an order that no fine be imposed. If the respondent repeats the violation, the board may order a fine of up to $500 for each day the violation continues to exist.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, case 100-21, find the respondent Biltmore Land Trust, First Florida Management Services, LLLP, Trey at 401 South Belcher in violation of code for signage without permits. Is that yours as well? Please step to, please come up to the podium.
I'm Dora Pruitt, Pruitt, and I'm here for the management services, and this is Bobby Allen. She's one of the trustees on the Biltmore Trust. And Mr. Knight has been helping us trying to get the property into compliance. There were permits lacking for all the signs in the shopping center. I think one was in compliance. I believe all of them but one has now been approved. There was a permit application submitted for the signage of the Daily News restaurant. I was hoping the owner was here today. I don't see her. So we're just waiting for the city to approve it. We are under the understanding that this particular sign is within compliance, but obviously we can't say until it's been gone through the approval system. but it has been put in. But I don't think it's been approved yet, correct? Right, I mean, but the application is in, correct?
Okay, do you have
So-
anything?
Do you have anything else, Barbara?
No.
Just have a seat and then we'll.
Thank you.
Are we taking it as,
So we're just waiting on one last permit.
correct?
Chair, I don't know if you guys wanted to get an admit or deny of the violation.
Yeah,
And
so,
then we can proceed. I'm sorry, if you could come back up. You might want to sit in the front row.
don't go too
I
far.
mean,
Come on, you can
not
come all the way
put
up
it
to the.
front.
So are you admitting to the violation?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Sorry
Just
about
have a
that.
seat and we'll call you back up.
So you
So,
can go to the
may-
recommendation portion of the board.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Daniel Knight, sign inspector with the City of Clearwater. This is case 100-21 for 401 South Belcher Road, and the violation is signage erected without permits. The city is asking compliance on or before September 25th of 2021, or a fine of $150 per day that the violation continues to exist. We are asking the board to authorize the following. After 3 months from the recordation date of such lien, if the fines and fees remain unpaid, the city's attorney's office is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien using any legal or equitable remedies available under the law. Compliance can be met for the signage erected without permits by obtaining proper permits to allow the attached sign currently erected at the property to remain, or by removing the unpermitted sign from the property and refrain from re-erecting any permanent signage at the property without first obtaining the proper permits. This is just a Google view of the property. This is just north of the CVS on Belcher and Gulf to Bay. There were multiple businesses that had signages, sign up without permits. The only one that remains is the Daily News Cafe and Restaurant. They did try to come into compliance by taking the sign down, only to find that there was another sign underneath it. But a permit has been applied for and the review of it has been approved. It's just the process of paying for it, getting the final okay, and then having it complied out.
Do you know if that first, when they took the sign down and found the painting, was that painting sign, was it?
It's not actually a painted sign.
Oh, okay.
But that wasn't
It wasn't permitted?
permitted either.
Okay, all right.
And this is the first violation, right? It's not
There's
a
only
repeat.
the one.
Right. Okay, so we need a first motion.
Yep. Do I have a motion in the violation?
So I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And do you understand what? Come on. So the board has found you in violation, which you admitted to, and they've given you until before September 25th to get this into compliance. It sounds like you're just a few steps in the permit process away.
Okay,
Doing it
so we'll
before
hear from the
September
city once it's gone through the process.
Yeah,
the
and
application.
follow up with everything they're recommending.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Thank you.
So we still need our second motion.
I move to enter an order requiring respondent to correct the violations on or before September 25th, 2021. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day each violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
A second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And case 101-21 Cypress Plaza, Clearwater at 23492 US Highway 19 in violation of code for attached signs. Is anyone here to speak on this case? Hi, please state your name for the board.
Ann Othen, O-T-H-E-N.
And what do you have to say about this case?
What do I say?
Do you admit to the violation?
Apparently, it's in violation, yeah. We had our sign painted on there by a high school art teacher, and we did a mural on the side, and then he painted our sign in the front and did some nice decorations, and we made a lot of improvements to the building. And, but I guess it's in violation because it can't be painted. So then we went back and forth with the city, trying to find the right program to have a proportionate sized sign. They're trying to keep us down at 35 feet or something, and it just looks ridiculous. So we have a really big front. The building is really big. Dan will probably be able to show you. But so now we're at the point where we thought we could do this comprehensive sign program, and then they said we couldn't. Now they say we can. So we're kind of back and forth, and I guess we can go up to 98 square feet. So we're just trying to work through the process, trying to get it done. So we did paint part of it just to try to show compliance, and it says you're gonna love this store in the middle, and they didn't like that. So I had to paint over you're gonna this store and just leave love, because that was okay. So, and I'm trying.
Well, we appreciate it, Ann.
I'm trying.
Just have a seat. We're gonna, the
Okay.
board's gonna make a motion on the violation, and then
Okay.
we're gonna talk to Daniel, okay? And can I have a motion?
Did you want him to present the case?
Well, there was an admit.
She
Okay.
admit.
So I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case. We have a second?
A second.
Oh, I thought we were here first.
Okay. Daniel, your recommendation?
All in favor?
All in favor?
You got it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Moving right along.
Daniel Knight, sign inspector with the city of Clearwater. This is case 101-21 for 23492 US Highway 19 North. The violation is attached signage erected in a non-residential zoning district. The city is asking compliance on or before September 25th of 2021, or a fine of $150 per day that the violation continues to exist. We are asking the board to authorize the following. After 3 months from the recordation date of such lien, if the fines and fees remain unpaid, the city's attorney's office is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien using any legal or equitable remedies available under the law. Now, there's been some confusion with everything, so my recommendation here is a little bit different because of what I was informed when I first came in. So I guess it's going to be easy just to kind of show you these photos. So this was on 7/15 of 2020, and patio casual, furniture and decor, and you're going to love this store are all attached painted signs that are erected that violate the sign code ordinance because at first there are too many to be erected through the minimum sign program. They're too large. And then 10/27, we didn't have any compliance. 5/18. Through this whole process, let me make it clear that Ann has spoke with the city, has spoke with me. We've been trying to get something worked out. Furniture and decor was painted over and removed, and the verbiage around love was removed, which the city has agreed is no longer a sign but a mural because love isn't necessarily what she's providing, but so we're looking at it as a mural. But the patio casual painted attached sign is still erected and is still too large. Through the minimum sign program, you're allowed up to 24 square feet of sign face area, and then if you want larger than that, you can go up to 36 square feet through the minimum sign program, but a sign between those two, between the 24 square feet and the 36 square feet, have to be of higher quality. So a painted sign would not qualify for that. So that is where the violation kind of lies. So this morning I was informed by the zoning department that a sign permit had been issued, and so in my recommendation it kind of suits that, but it appears that the permit that was accepted by zoning is a permit that was submitted a while ago and is no longer the signage that Ann would like put up on her property. So we still have to go through that process. The comprehensive sign program will allow between 1 to 6% of the facade that's facing the major street, not to exceed 200 square feet. But that has to be approved through the comprehensive sign program, and the signage has to be of higher quality. And so at some point within the past year and a half, there's just been miscommunication somehow, and we've kind of we've made the process of getting to compliance, but we're not fully there yet. So with that being said, compliance can be met for the attached signage erected in a non-residential zoning district by removing the unpermitted attached sign from the property, or by obtaining permits allowing a permanent sign to be erected at the property and following the criteria and limitations of that permit. This was the SGN 2021-08005 was the sign permit that was approved but is no longer wanted. So that's kind of where we're.
Then?
So a comprehensive sign, for the amount of signage she's wanting, the comprehensive sign program application will have to be submitted and would have to be approved through the zoning department.
Or she removes the middle painting.
Or she removes patio casual, not love.
Okay. My empathy goes to her. I'm sorry. As a business owner, I've been through this process. It is an arduous and unclear process, and it's sometimes in conflict to your ability to promote your business and educate your clients. So my heart goes out to you. My advice is to do what you've done, which is continue the conversation and navigate with the city's help. It is an unclear process at this point, and my heart goes out to you. I understand your plight. So.
I don't know if Ann would like to speak again, or if you would like to hear from her again.
So just to be clear, for her to come into compliance, she could either remove the sign, so basically paint over it, or that would be the immediate solution, then start the permit process again for the sign that she actually wants.
Regardless, that painted sign that's up there wouldn't be approved because it's not of a higher quality
Right, she
sign.
would have to paint over it, basically, or to remove it. That would be the most immediate solution.
Correct.
And then to get the signage that she wants, she can begin the process for the proper sign.
Correct, yes. If the sign's removed, compliance has been met, the case is in compliance.
Okay.
So she has till September 25th.
Yes.
And again, that was off of my recommendation
Right,
that everything was almost there. So with that being said, I will leave the discretion up to you. And
Can she approach the podium? I have a couple of questions for her.
And do you want to come back up? Thanks. Thank you.
And where are you leaning towards? Are you, is it?
This
are you
is
gonna
what
go
I want, which is 98 square feet, which I've always put in. That, once I accepted the fact that we can't have a painted sign, which I didn't understand that at first, but then I accepted that, this was what I wanted. For 35 square feet is really, really small. I can show you what that is too. This is what they approved, or 36 square feet? Oh, okay.
Just bring it down a little
It looks proportionate, it's a big building.
And that doesn't fit the code?
That does.
This does?
The comprehensive,
Yes.
the other program, but all they kept telling me is that I can only get approved for this 36 square feet, which when they drew it up, it just, I can't, it's not that I'm trying to be difficult, it just really looks small.
So the plan that she has before us, does that meet all the criteria
for the comprehensive.
for the to meet the
Well,
code?
what they're telling me now is, you see how our building has that space between the
Yes.
two? Okay. So now they're telling me, I got an email yesterday, I said, can we get this approved? And the lady at the city told my sign guy that this would be considered 2 signs, and that's not allowed. So, and it wouldn't get approved. So I said, okay, how does Miss Juicy Seafood get 3 signs, and I can't get 2?
My understanding that is there is a correlation between linear footage of frontage,
Percentage?
right?
Right.
So why was that not meet if she has a huge amount of linear footage for
We're
the
really
front?
lucky like that, and I want to utilize it.
As the sign inspector, I do not deal with permitting or reviewing the permits.
Okay.
But Assistant Director Lauren Matsky is here if you have any questions that you'd like to refer to her.
So in that drawing, how would you advise Anne?
Good afternoon, Lauren Matsky, City of Clearwater. Nicole, do I need to be sworn in? I was not here earlier.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth throughout your entire testimony?
I do. So I have never reviewed a sign through the comprehensive sign program, so I will not be able to speak to anything off the cuff in that regard. I can say, that, based on the building facade, you're correct, it's based on the total square footage. Through the standard sign permit, as discussed, the painted sign would be allowed if it was 24 square feet, because it's a painted attached sign, that's the limit for that. To get up to 36 square feet, it does have to be a higher quality, but it's not just, subjective. There's a list of specific sign types in the code that it would have to be that 36 square feet. Then, as you're aware, we have the comprehensive sign program, and that is more of a design-based discussion. I would like to state that, staff has been in dialogue for a very long time at this point, and we've been discussing the opportunity to utilize the comprehensive sign program since last fall, and we've talked to both sign contractors about that option. So this, is 2 signs. There's been a lot of work trying to explain this, and unfortunately, I think there's either just some miscommunications or not. We have never received a comprehensive sign program application to evaluate. But I would also like to add, the range is 1% to 6%, but that does not necessarily mean that you get the maximum of 6%. I just, I don't know where this falls within that. I had done some math earlier.
6% it falls within.
So it falls within 6%, but I wouldn't guarantee it. So 6% would be up to 108 square feet. So this would be at the high end of it. I don't know what type of signage this is or anything based on the drawing. I can't tell. It would not be allowed to be a painted sign, though.
Understood, okay.
So, and then again, it is design-based, so there is a little bit more going back and forth sometimes to ensure that we're getting those higher qualities, because of course, if we're approving larger signs, we want them to be, the standards that we set for our community.
So my question is to you, Anne. If you're leaning towards not just removing the painted, are you asking, would it be beneficial to ask for more time? Because if you're leaning towards just removing the middle sign and that would be the easier one, then I think September 25th is a rational expectation. But if you are going to go for the comprehensive plan and actually go through the whole process, as a business owner, I think September 25th is not enough time
I
to
just
go through
want
the
to
whole
make it
process.
clear that, this has been going on for about a year, and they told me on more than one occasion that I could not do this program.
Okay.
And I'm not a sign person, so I really don't understand. And I had another sign gentleman, he ended up having a heart attack. My current sign guy is in COVID, so it's just, time consuming and been drawn out. But I have always been willing to do this. Once I accepted the fact that I can't have paint, which I didn't understand at first, but now I get that. They want me to spend thousands of dollars on vinyl or whatever, they want, I'll do it. But it's just more important to have a proportionate size sign. So yes, I will need more time. I think now we have a green light to go through this program, even though they told us we couldn't. Apparently there was a misunderstanding, Gina wrote me.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, so the name of the company is Patio
Patio
Casual
Casual.
Furniture and Decor?
furniture and decor,
So
right.
you're just pushing it into 2 different signs?
Well, because of the way our building is, it doesn't go, you have that
Yeah, I get
alcove
it.
in the middle.
But if you have both spaces, could you put it all into one and get into
Yeah,
compliance?
we could, if that's what the city prefers, to put it all on one side. I let things balance.
But then it looks like that other side's going to look vacant without a bit, what I'm saying?
And we occupy the whole space. There was 5 businesses in there previously when we bought the property. They all had their own signs. So now we occupy the whole building, so it's just us in there.
So that's 5 locals you took over?
Yeah, 5, yeah. Some were empty, some were vacant, in and out all the time, properties, but businesses.
Well, and I think the board is willing to work with you on the time
You
and
just,
the
I
lien-
think a little, maybe 90 days, if that's not too much. I just don't know how long this program is going to take, and then to erect the sign.
Yeah, as I was gonna say, we are not in charge of that side of the house, so, you know, there is the very real, you know, fact that they may not agree with even the 6%, so.
Right,
Just be
yes.
prepared to receive
Yes.
a no from them.
Yes, well, I just want to make sure they know that they've approved it with other businesses and that we're being treated fairly. That's really all we're concerned about. It doesn't seem like a fair process.
But from our end, it sounds like we're willing to work with you on the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, I think so too, yeah.
Excuse me, Board. I was speaking with Ms. Madsky. And I missed some of the conversation, but is the intention more time to submit an application for the comprehensive sign program?
I think regarding the violation, which is what we're
Because-
voting on, we're willing
Okay,
to
so-
rectify.
My understanding is that this has been going on for some time. There has been a permit that has been issued, it's been approved, and she has rejected that, said she doesn't want that sign anymore. And so at this point, the city is asking that if she does intend to go forward with a different sign application, such as the comprehensive, that the time that the board gives her is just not time to decide, but it's time to move forward with the new process.
But the only reason that we did this one is because they kept telling me I can't do this one. That's the only reason we didn't do the comprehensive signage. I have emails, I can give them to you, from the people at their office there, at the sign people, saying, no, you don't qualify, no, you don't qualify. And, you know, and I couldn't understand, why wouldn't we qualify? And I kept telling them, why does everybody else have larger signs? And they're just not helpful. I mean, I know you think they are, but they're really not. They're just not helping me. I just needed some direction on, and they said, and then I said, okay, if I apply for this program, would we get approved? No.
It's
They
not
said no.
guaranteed. Yeah,
So-
it's not guaranteed. And so that might be what happens even with the extension of time.
But
We're just
now,
voting on the
but now they're
violation.
saying I would get approved.
We can't guarantee that.
I know,
at
I
this
know, so I
meeting.
don't know, I mean, it's very, very confusing, and at least I'd like the opportunity to apply for this that they said I couldn't apply for before. And let's see if we can, because we've done the landscaping, I mean, we've done everything that this program would require. So,
Okay, thank you. And you can have a
Thank
seat.
you.
We're going to talk to Daniel one more time. Thank you.
I take this, or you hold that?
Anyone else on this? Do you want to say anything, Daniel?
With submitting that comprehensive sign program, if she gets with her sign contractor and says, well, this is what I want, even submitting that, and then having that go to the city, and then the city, even if they said, well, no, it needs to be revised, this and this, it doesn't meet qualifications, at least then it can go back, okay, well, what about this? I can't speak on behalf of what was said or not said, but I can tell you that I've tried to do my best in the year and a half to try and meet compliance.
And Ann, you understand that?
Oh, yeah, Daniel and I have both been trying.
Okay. All right, board, any other?
I'm willing to put a motion with a little bit of a compromise, a little meeting in the middle, not 90 days, because you have been working on it for a year and a half. But I truly want to give you the benefit of the doubt that you are going to apply, like you said, and not just remove the painting. So I would like to make a motion to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violations on or before October 25th. I think that's a good compromise. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day each violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose and collect or settle such lien.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, here's a continuance.
One more from me, board, and I'm out of your hair, I promise.
So we're going to case 103-21, 15 Hollinsworth Street Realty Trust at 1831 North Highland in violation of code for signage without permits. Is there anyone here to speak on this case? Please, come forward.
I'm a contractor who was hired by MT with supply, and he has some medical issue, And we had obtained engineering design and stuff like that, and we will start working on the permit right away.
Okay, regarding 15 Hollingsworth?
Empty beach supply. So,
Is this case 103-21?
yeah, right?
For 1831 North Highland.
Right? The
Is that
empty
yours?
beach supply?
Yes, that's the business
Yeah.
at the property that's out of compliance.
Yeah.
And did you get his name, Nicole?
No, I sure didn't. I'm sorry.
Can you speak louder? I'm having a
My
hard
name
time.
is Ahmed Fakura.
And I need you to spell your last name for me. And if you could speak a little louder. I'm sorry.
K-O-U-R-A.
L-A?
R-A, red.
R-A? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Ahmed, you're aware of the issue and you are working with the
Yes, they
city?
called me last week and we are working on it.
Okay, just have a seat for a few minutes and then we'll have
Is he
Daniel.
agreeing?
Are you, is this a motion? Are you admitting,
Excuse me?
do you admit to the violation?
I am just a contractor,
Yeah,
so
he's
I
just,
cannot
he's
admit.
not the property owner. Okay, thank you, just have
No,
a seat
but
for
we
a few
will
minutes.
work to solve the violation. We will work to solve this violation starting tomorrow.
Okay,
We'll present for you the paper and everything for the permit department starting tomorrow.
okay, thank you. You can have a seat, we may call you back up. We're
Thank you
just
so
gonna
much.
do 15 first, thanks. He's not the owner of the property.
I did speak with the property manager of the property just before code board today, and he said that he's out of state and the business owner has a medical emergency. But when we spoke, I told him that what the city's recommendation was, and he seemed to be okay with it.
Okay, so, should I get a motion on the declaration?
It's not in compliance.
Okay.
On the violation. I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And you're,
Daniel Knight, sign inspector with the city of Clearwater. This is case 103-21 for 1831 North Highland Avenue. The violation is for signage erected without permits, and the city is asking compliance on or before September 25th of 2021, or a fine of $150 per day that the violation continues to exist. We are asking the board to authorize the following. After 3 months from the recordation date of such lien, if the fines and fees remain unpaid, the city's attorney's office is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien using any legal or equitable remedies available under the law. Compliance can be met for the signage erected without permits by either obtaining the proper permits allowing the currently attached signs to remain erected at the property, or by removing the unpermitted signage from the property and refrain from re-erecting any permanent signage without first obtaining proper permits. These are just some photos. This is on Highland, just south of Sunset Point. There's a Dunkin' Donuts and a Walmart nearby. This was on 10/28 of last year. And then this was on February 3rd of this year. The M&T Beauty Supply had put up their sign after notice went out. I then spoke with the property management. His name is Josh. I spoke with Josh, and he said he would try and rectify everything. This sign was taken down, but as of last week, the M&T Beauty Supply sign is still erected. And from what I can see before coming today is no permits have been applied for. Now, I'm not going to dispute if he went through engineering to see if all that would work out, but the application hasn't been submitted to the zoning department. So the recommendation is compliance on or before September 25th of 2021, or a fine of $150 per day that the violation continues to exist.
do you have any questions?
So I move to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violations on or before September 25th. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day each violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
Second.
All in favor? Mr. Ahmed, you understand, you can come back up to the podium, please. You understand and will relay to the owner that the violation needs to come into compliance, you need to apply for the permits and work with the city.
Yeah, if we can extend it a little bit, if you please, that would be better. So we'll start filing right away tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
We voted for 30 days, and so you have,
That
you
will-
have, just start working with the city immediately.
okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Just so the board is aware, I told Josh that I would call him today or tomorrow about the finding.
Okay.
Thank you, board.
Thanks, Daniel. Case number 105-21, Mohammed Farr at 843 Lantana Ave in violation of code for permits. Is anyone here to speak? Anyone here to speak on this case? Staff, are you requesting a declaration of violation?
Just a moment, can't see. All right, good afternoon, Nilda Espinosa, Housing Inspector, City of Clearwater. I want to preface this before I start the presentation. This case goes back to 2016, November. The end of 2016, up to now, I've been sick, so I've just been taking easy cases to code board. Feeling better now, so I'm going back. Probably see me with more cases for 2016, okay?
Welcome back. Glad to have you.
So this is for case 10521 for 843 Lantana. It is a stop work orders conversion of garage to a living space. And it's under section 4-203.A.1 and article, excuse me, 4, is that 4? -47.083, which is work commencing without a permit. Oops. Notice of violation was sent in November of 2016, December 3rd of 2020, May 5th of 2021, and August 17th of 2021. Compliance dates were November 18, 2016, December 30, 2020, May 25th, 2021, and excuse me, July 8, 2021. Certified mail was received 11/15/2016, December 8, 2020, May 18, 2021, and June 28, 2021. Notice of hearing was posted the property and sent out May 6, 2021. Certified mail for that was received on June 28, 2021. An affidavit of posting was done on July 17, 2021. This is at the beach. You can see it's between El Dorado and Bay Esplanade. This is a Google Earth photograph where you see the red arrow is the building that we are speaking of. If you look over here, you will see that it is a driveway that goes all the way to the back. This is the only photograph that I could get back in 2016. It's a 6-foot gate. It was only a little bit open, and that's all I could get, and that is a sliding glass door. Of course, I could not get into the backyard to take more photos. This is from Zillow. The property owner has it up for sale. If you will look down at the blue arrow, it says a separate guest house with its own entrance, has a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. This is the house. This is the building in the back. This is what has been converted into a guest house. No permits. You can see that there's a kitchen, there's a bathroom, bedroom. That's the posting. And all I can tell you is that when he still has the property for sale, he had a contractor come and pull a permit to convert the sliders back to a garage door. I found out yesterday morning that the contractor has voided out that permit. So, nothing.
Any questions?
So at this point, what would he have to do to, I mean, you're gonna,
I'll give you my recommendation.
5 years later, I mean, it's,
Okay, so, they'll have to come in, they'll have to get permits to convert that back into a garage. Put back a garage door, get rid of the slider.
A permit to return it to a garage.
Yes, ma'am.
So he has to remove all the cabinetry, the bathroom, everything has to
Well,
be
he can keep the bathroom, I believe. Where's there?
The sewer,
Oh,
the
right
sewer
here.
line.
Hi, I am Dana Root, I'm
Oh.
the assistant building official.
Dana, I'm sorry, yeah, that's where the microphone is, sorry.
Hi, I'm Dana Root, assistant building official. There's a possibility that he can leave some of the items. If it's classified as a second dwelling, he's going to have to get approved for that. It's a possibility that the owner could keep it the way it is. He would still need to get a permit though. So there's a few options.
Is it technically still a garage though, since they didn't get approved for the second dwelling permit? So
No, because it's made into something else. So
Without
it's not a garage right now, it just needs a permit to convert it to the living space or whatever they want to do.
And
Because
then
they could put it back to a garage, they could,
without a permit?
no, they would need a permit for the demo. Then they would need a permit to put the garage door back in.
So they have the option of either reverting or keeping it as it is, but they have to go through the process of all the permitting.
They may not be able to keep it as it is if it's classified as a second dwelling.
Oh, okay, because of the,
You have to have a certain amount of acreage, square foot on your lot to have two dwellings.
So it's still considered a garage in the city's eyes, right?
Technically, no, because it's not a garage. There's no garage door, you can't park a car in there.
I was just trying to figure out if it was a garage and he didn't get the permit to make it a building, but he needed to get a permit to make it back a garage, it never technically, in permit eyes, was a second dwelling, right?
Right, say if he got a permit to do the work that you see in the pictures, and then he changed his mind.
Yeah.
He would still have to get a permit to put it back to the garage.
But that first permit for him to do that with the cabinets and everything wasn't issued, right?
Correct.
Any other questions? Can I get a motion on the violation?
The first motion?
Yes.
I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are we ready to do the second one? I move to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violations on or before, was it September 30th? If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day each violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, and settle such lien.
All in favor?
Aye.
We need a second.
Yeah.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved.
Okay, so to meet compliance, of course, they get all the required permits. That's it.
Thank you. Case 10621, finds respondent Stephen Grasso at 1545 Scranton Ave in violation of code for permits. Please step to the podium, state your name and address.
Stephen Grasso, 1545 Scranton Avenue.
Do you admit to the violations?
Yep.
Yes or no?
Yes, I built them.
Okay. Would you like to say anything right now?
What?
Would you like to say anything right now?
I just submitted a permit to demolish it this, on my way here. Your
Okay.
submissive building.
Well, you can have a seat, and then we'll hear from Ms. Espinosa, and we'll call you back.
So with that, I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit of this case.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I didn't know that he had submitted a permit for a demo. This is for case, excuse me, Nilda Espinosa, housing inspector for 1545 Scranton Avenue, case 10621. Again, it's a stop work order. It's building a porch and enclosed storage area. Again, it's with section 4-203.8.1 and article 4-47.083. Notice the violation was sent in September 28, 2020, and again in June 1st of 2021. Compliance was for October 16, 2020, and June 21st, 2021. Certified mail received 10/7/2020, and June 8, 2021. Notice of hearing was sent on June 29, 2021. Certified mail was sent July 8, 2021. Received, I'm sorry. And affidavit posting was done July 30th, 2021. The house is just east of S Ft Harrison and just west of Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue South. This is a Google photograph from 2014. This is the way it looked before. Then I have one from March 2016, as you can see, still standing, same way. This is what it looks like now. This is all enclosed. This is the front porch. That storage area back there was closed up. You can see that there's a screen door over here. This is glass. I believe this is all screened up. You can see staircase was where the blue arrow was originally. That has been removed. That has been enclosed. There's a window here. There was a window there before. There was a window over here. That's the front entrance to the house. Another photograph, you can see the screen door, the stairs, where they used to be on the side here, they're over here on this side in the front. This is today's posting for the notice, posting for today's hearing. I will tell you that he did submit a permit. He drew a hand sketch, couldn't do that. He had to submit sign and seal plans. When I went to post the property, I met him first time, and he said he did not have the money to pay an architect. So again, he says he submitted a permit to demolish that. I did not know that today.
What are your recommendations?
Sure. Compliance met before September 30th, 2021, $150 per day per violation. It's only one violation. After 3 months of recordation date of such lien, if the fines and fees remain unpaid, the city attorney's office is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien using any legal or equitable remedies available under the law. And that can be met by applying for a permit.
Okay. I think we'll talk to Mr. Grasso one more time. Mr. Grasso, do you understand what the board is asking you to do?
We got to take it down, or straighten it out to where I get fined.
Correct, by September 30th.
Well, I just applied for the permit today. Was that, like, the 30th, I gotta wait till I get the permit back?
Yes, you'll have to work with them at this point, but you have applied for it, you're gonna stay on top of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can have it down in a couple of days, all of it, you know? Okay, I got another problem. They say a fence is involved. That fence has been there when I bought the house in '09. You know, it's on the north side of the house. What do I do about that? I gotta take it down because I didn't even live there. I mean, there was a fine on the house before I bought it, and finally I got tired of telling it, I bought it cash, the title people. I tried for years, and he finally let that go. Now I gotta take this fence down. Is that my problem too? It's on the north side of the house.
Well, I can talk about
It said it on the first thing, you know?
I didn't cite the fences when I
Oh,
cited
okay,
was
but it's on the
porch.
original thing, no? It's on the north side of the house. Do I have to take that down?
Yeah, you did. That wasn't part of this, so I didn't make it part of this because you took it down.
I never took it down.
It's
I took
not
an
a
enclosure over it. I
Yes.
took that down. Now I don't have to take the fence down? Okay, we're
I
good.
never cited the fence. It's just the porch and the enclosure on, I think that was a carport at one time.
Yeah, well, no, I built that whole thing. There's one behind that. That was a carport.
Do you have something to say as well? Hang on just one second, Mr. Grasso.
We'd be willing to extend it out for 90 days if the board approves it, to give them more time to get the permit and to do the work.
You've seen the permit?
By 1 o'clock, it's up there.
He said he was there today.
Yeah, no, I believe it.
Okay.
So,
All right, do you have anything else, Mr. Grasso?
Okay.
Okay, board, do you have any questions?
Make a second motion on this.
Can I get a second?
I move to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violations on or before November 30th, 2021. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
Okay, all in favor?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Case
Thank you,
number,
board.
thank you. Case 10721, FYR SFR Borrowers LLC at 1310 South Washington Avenue in violation of code for permits. Is there anyone here to speak to this case? Staff, are you requesting a declaration of violation?
No, this violation is still in existence. Good afternoon, Board. I'm Sam Swinton, Housing Inspector. This is 1310 South Washington Avenue, case 107-21. We have one violation at this property, working without a permit, install a front porch. The Community Development Code sections 4-203A1 and section 47.083, section 2. A notice of violation was sent out, certified mail, July 8th of 21. Received that receipt back on July 26th of 21. Notice of hearing was also sent out on July 8th of 21 and also received July 26th of 21. This property is located just south of Lakeview Avenue, east of Martin Luther King and west of Missouri Avenue. This is a Google shot taken back in early February of 21. This is how the home stayed at the time it was vacant. Another view of that property at that time. And this is the front porch that was put on to the property. As you can see, the porch was also extended and a new window was installed to this property. And just a couple more pictures for you to see. One more.
Your recommendations?
Recommendations for this property. is work without a permit, requesting compliance on or before September 25th, 21, or a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day the violation continues to exist. We are also asking the board to authorize the following. After 3 months from the recommendation date of such lien, if the liens and fees remain unpaid, the city attorney's office is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien using legal or any equitable remedies available under the law.
Does the board have any comments, or can I have a motion?
It's still owned by the FYR, there's no one living in there now?
There is, as I went by this morning, there were two individuals there, but they were just sitting on the front porch. I don't know if they're living in there. It doesn't look like anybody's living. It's just two individuals sitting on the porch this morning.
So he hasn't responded to you since July?
No, they have not.
I move to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violations.
We need a first motion first.
Oh, we need it first?
Yeah.
I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violations on or before, what was that, September 30th?
September.
September 25th.
September 25th, 2021. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day each violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
All in favor?
Aye. Did we second?
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion approved. Okay. Moving on to unfinished business. That's all? So we have 5.11 through 5.16. Can I have a motion to accept the affidavits of compliance?
I move to accept the affidavits of compliance as listed, 511 through 5116.
Can I get a second? Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, is there anyone here to speak on the rest of the unfinished business, 5.2 to 5.9?
Yes.
Okay,
He just stepped out, but I know he's going to want to speak.
okay.
It's 5.2, continued from November 18th, 2020 and July 28th, 2021, case 19-20.
Okay, or you can, if there's nobody else, you can accept the rest of them.
Okay.
As one motion, if there's nobody else for any of the other.
Is there anyone else here to speak on any of the other unfinished business issues? No. Can I get a motion to accept the rest?
So I move to accept the affidavits of compliance as listed, the remaining ones.
The remaining.
So we have to list them all?
5.3 through 5.9.
5.2, 5.2? 5.3 through 5.9.
To a second?
I second that.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then we're waiting on Mr. Rothschild.
He's back.
Please step to the podium. State your name and address.
Jeffrey Rothschild, 600 Eatonville Avenue, Clearwater, Florida, 32764.
So board, this would be for you to accept the affidavit of noncompliance. The case has already been heard and there's an order and an affidavit of compliance was submitted. So you can hear what he has to say, but it would just be for you to accept it or no.
Do you want to speak, Mr. Rothschild?
Yeah, I kind of missed the beginning of it. I've been a little ill. I've had cancer and they're still trying to do, they found a tumor in my chest. That's why I missed on the 28th. And I can't even have surgery until this is resolved because I don't know if you'll make me come back or not. But I got a notice of that they're doing a permit on it. I don't know if you want to see this or not. But it's a notice of commencement. And they applied for the permit, and I'm still waiting to get it back. I guess they have to come out to the house and look at everything. And I also have the information from the contractor, which is CCI Construction. And they asked for $3,000 to do that driveway. I live on $800 a month. My mortgage is $600, my electric and water run over $100, so that's a big expense for me. But I've done it. All of this is taken care of, so I don't know what to do at this point. I just have to wait they said as soon as the city returns the permit and there shouldn't be any problem with it, that they'll go ahead and start work. The man has 7 crews, and he said he could start on it as soon as he gets the permit, but he can't start it before then.
Okay. If you want to take a seat, we'll hear from Ryan, and then we'll call.
Okay, thank you.
Does the board have questions?
I'm sorry.
I don't know if the board wants to hear from me or what you want to hear from me. This has already been heard multiple times, and I'm just basically here to answer any questions you guys have.
So my question is this, it says continued from last year, November 18, 2020.
So this was originally written up in September, I believe, or October of 2019. This case is over almost 2 years old. Every time it's been brought before Code Board, Mr. Rothschild has an excuse of why he needs a continuance. It was supposed to be seen last month. He called Ken Pieslak the day before Code Board and said he just found out he has to have surgery. He's having 2 tumors removed, so it was scheduled to this month. There was a permit submitted on Monday, 2 days before Code Board, but it's still in review process right now.
And that would be because the parking lot is already there,
No, it's a driveway.
or the driveway?
Yeah, his driveway was in violation. He was missing chunks of it, and so that was what the violation was. And then he started demolishing the driveway without a permit after he came to Code Board the first time.
Okay, so now he submitted the permit this week.
This week.
And he has a contractor agreed to do the work. I mean, but it's still on.
I think at this point,
The
all we're
property's not in
voting on
compliance.
is
It has not been
the
in compliance for 2 years.
non-compliance affidavit.
And this has been
There's
going on
much
for
we
2
can do
years?
beyond
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
So what could we do at this point? Nothing?
This would be for you to accept the affidavit of noncompliance like you did for the other cases. It's at the board's discretion what you want to do, if you want to continue it again, but.
I'd say give it one more month, but that's it. Literally, that's it. 2 years, but only if they agree. If they don't agree, then we'll do it.
The work's not going to be done in 1 month.
Okay, then it's a moot point.
You mean logistically it can't be done in a month anyway, so by extending?
The permit hasn't even been approved yet, let alone a crew's been set up, nor has the contractor given a date and time that it will be done, nor has Mr. Rothschild paid the $3,000. It's not going to be done in a
So
month.
it's just a quote. All right. I mean, then I say just non-compliance.
So make the motion.
I move to accept the affidavit of noncompliance and issue an order that imposes fines and states, if fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
I second.
All in favor?
No point keep wasting time.
Yeah.
All right, I now close the public portion of this hearing. Does the board have any comments? Or may I please have a motion?
So we need, yes, a motion to accept the nuisance abatement lien filings. Unless there's somebody here, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who would like to present the last item on the agenda if possible?
So board, if you wanted to accept items 7-1 through 7-7 as one motion, and then we can hear the last one.
Can I get a motion for the 7-1 through 7-7?
Does anyone else want to do it?
It's
Put it on motion.
I move to enter an order finding the, oh wait, sorry, is that it? Is that number 7?
Page 7.
No, it's number 8.
It's page 7. Page 7.
Doesn't sound right. Which
The
page would,
nuisance abatement lien filings, it should say.
because page
Lena,
8
Page 7 on this.
or page 7? Because can you help me with 7 or 8? Which one is it that I need to,
Declaration or?
doesn't seem,
Yeah, I don't know if it's a declaration or what.
That's a declaration.
okay. And so, and those are the numbers of what, 7-2 through 7-8?
7-1 through 7.
7.
Okay. All right, thank you. It was out of order. I move to enter an order finding the respondent in violation of code and requiring the respondent to correct the violations within 5 days of the board's written order. If the respondent does not comply with the time specified, the city may take all the reasonable actions, including entry on the property to abate and maintain the nuisance and charge the respondent with a reasonable cost with which become a lien on the property. If costs and fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such a lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien, and that would apply to 7-1 to through 7-7.
All in, or sorry,
second.
can I get a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Ms. Brown, hello.
Hello, Board. Shelby Brown, Code Inspector, City of Clearwater. Thank you for indulging us to present this case. It is a nuisance abatement case. It's a little different case than you typically see, and you may see this property come again. So we wanted to go ahead and just let you see what it is. It's for a nuisance condition at 2634 Woodring Drive, and this is case 12821. All right, so at 2634 Woodring Drive, we've got one violation that we're here for today, and this is a public nuisance condition. It's for a hazardous, unmaintained, unsecure, unsafe pool, and it covers multiple code sections of our nuisance code, 3-1503A, and 3-1503B1, 3, 5A, and 9. These are all nuisance conditions. It decreases the value of property near it. It's an attractive nuisance to children, different kinds of things. So we just wanted you to take a look at it so you'll know where we're going. What you're looking at is, I can see from the looks in your faces, yes, this is an unsafe pool. A little quick backstory, this property was kind of burnt up by a fire several years ago. The people moved out and Mr. Ginelli acquired the property. It's been a partially demolished, unoccupied, vacant structure for years, and we have done nothing but work on nuisance complaints for this property. This is the 5th case I've had in 18 months for the pool. So that gets us to where we're at today. So I wanted you to see, this is typically what the pool's like there. And this is Mr. Ginelli's recent fix, which is not compliant with the city's codes in terms of how to correct a pool situation. So I just wanted you to see that. And I'll just roll through things here. We did contact him on July 15th. I typically email him to say, hi, you've got an issue here and we're going to post it again to give him a head start. Let's get it going. So I gave him that email on the 15th. I posted a notice of violation and hearing on July 16th. The notices of violation were sent on July 19th. Compliance date was July 26th, which was at least 10 days out from the time we first notified him. This is a nuisance. It's ongoing. He knows about it. We did get the certified mail green card back, and due to emails, we know that the owner knows about the issue. All right, this is what the property looked like on July 16th. This is a partially demolished structure. This is an absolutely open property on a corner. I thought some neighbors might be here today too, to let you know how sick and tired they are of what's happening here. So this is a picture of my posting that day saying that there's a nuisance at the property and that there's a hearing. Anybody can walk right in here, and the issue is that the pool's not secured, and the water in there, every time it rains, fills up, it's stagnant, creates mosquitoes. Anybody could walk in there and fall in. That's not permitted per the city's codes, all right? And this just happens every single time it rains. He drains it somewhat, and we just end up right where we're at. A little closer view, several feet of stagnant, pest-producing water, very unsafe. So this is on the 27th. Compliance date was the 26th, as you'll recall. Nothing's been done as of the 27th, okay? So on the 27th, I had a conversation with Mr. Ginelli, and he had indicated that he might finally be ready to cover the pool. Because I said, we're going to code board regardless this time. I hope you get it fixed, but if you don't, we're going. And we talked about what pool coverings might be usable. I had suggested contract a pool contractor. You know, they'll know something. At the very least, don't use sandbags, don't use a tarp. Try not to just use wood pieces. It needs to be really covered, watertight, maybe a grid system. He may have heard me saying something else. I'm sure if he was here, he'd say that he thought this was fine. So this is what we ended up with. We've got some 2x4s and some kind of a wire. And you can see there's openings still. The water's not treated. It's not compliant with any ordinance, okay? So this is on the 9th. And there's another shot of it. So while an attempt was made, that's not what we would go with. So I asked the building department, what do you think of this? And they said, hey, there are some actual requirements for how to cover an abandoned pool. Here they are. If I'd have known that, I would have given that information to him. However, you never need permission to do the right thing. And he was advised by Jason Cantrell, building inspector, on the 10th. Here's what you need to do to take it a little farther. What you've got there isn't going to cut it. This is the abandoned pool covering requirements that I learned about too. And they're pretty specific and say it's got to be really covered tightly or have a grid system. You can't, it's very specific. You know, the goal here is that it be covered so that nobody can fall in, that we don't have pests, that certain materials are used, that it's safe, that it not be unattractive. You know, it's a nuisance. Everybody has to look at this all the time. And it shall be permitted and inspected by the City of Clearwater Inspections Division, i.e. the building department. So this is what we ended up with after he got that information. More wood piled on top, and this does not meet the building standards as outlined in that diagram you saw before. And although an attempt was made, this is still a nuisance for the neighboring properties. It doesn't make their property values good. Anybody can walk in here. We don't know if it'll hold somebody. The water's not treated. So it's a nuisance still. There's another picture of it. There's still some openings in it. That wire, we don't know if that's tied or not. Anybody can get into this, okay? So do you want to live next door to this? Probably no. And then there's another picture of this abandoned, vacant, partially demolished property and the grid work that he's put on there. So I wanted you to know those things.
Ms. Brown, what has Mr. Gianelli told you are his intentions with the property?
That's a very lengthy story, but something to note. This property was brought before the board previously as an unsafe structure.
Remember the frogs.
So it's kind of grinding along. There is, you know, the intention, according to him and to messages I'm seeing, that he's trying to get permits to rebuild the property, and I think we may still have Dana Root here if we need to talk to the building department. The intention is, according to him, to move forward and redo the property. However, that doesn't cover what's happening with this issue right now, and that's what we're here for today, is to get permission to either, if he can't get this thing fixed right, then the city has to get it fixed, which would be pulling that off and hiring somebody to put the proper item down, bill him, and it goes as a lien on the property. We don't want to do that. So if it's found in violation, I don't know if I need to make a motion for that, but okay. So there's my 2 cents, folks.
Seems like he's a long way from getting what he wants done at the property, and the pool in the meantime would be the biggest issue.
Correct, and that's going to be ongoing.
Okay. Board, any questions? Can I have a motion on the nuisance abatement lien filing?
You ready for the motion? I move to enter an order finding the respondent in violation of code and requiring the respondent to correct the violations within 5 days of the board's written order. If the respondent does not comply within the time specified, the city may take all reasonable actions, including entry onto the property, to abate and maintain the nuisance and charge the respondent with a reasonable cost which will become a lien on the property. If costs and fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such a lien.
Got a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
Thank you.
So yes, we're requesting on this public nuisance condition, hazardous pool, we're requesting compliance on or before August 31st. I realize that from today that may sound quick, but please know this pool has been in a dreadful condition for years and will continue to be. So we're requesting compliance by August 31st, 2021, and we're asking the board to authorize the Code Compliance Division to take all reasonable actions, including entry onto the property, to abate and maintain the nuisance and charge the violator with reasonable costs, which will become a lien on the property. And you can see the next segment there. If it's not sorted out, then the city may be able to foreclose.
Real quick, so you already
We've
made
already
a
voted.
motion and it was seconded and approved for 5 days.
Okay.
So is the city wanting to give him till or August 31st?
Yes, yeah, we still want to give him time to try to sort it out. We don't want to go in and do his, fixing for him
Okay.
if we don't have to. Can I let you know how he could meet compliance? I mean, we want to let you know. So here's how this can get sorted out. One, completely drain any remaining stagnant water from the pool and keeping it empty thereafter. That's kind of typically what's been happening. It gets drained and then it rains again and it gets gross, and that's where we're at. But that's one way to take care of it. People can't if they fall in an empty pool, they could still be found and the pests don't accumulate. They can cover the pool in accordance with the abandoned pool covering requirements, and we'll work with them on that. Permit required. He can completely fill the pool in if he wants. People do that too. A permit required for that, but we'll work with them. Or bring the pool back to a fully maintained condition. That would be super, but unlikely to happen in 5 days. So that's what can happen. And, I appreciate you letting me show you this, but we need to because this property's been here before. That's where it's at today.
No, I apologize. We voted before you had
okay.
shown all the recommendations, but I don't think that it's changed the motion. Do
it's
you
off by
want to
1 day,
change the
right?
days? We're only off by 1 day, right?
We're off by, you
5
suggested
days.
August 31st.
I gotcha. Yeah.
And this is 5 days, which is August 25th now, so it's off by a
I
day.
forget what day it was, sorry.
I'm just keeping it the 31st. If you don't mind changing your motion.
Let's change it to the 31st and just
Okay.
keep it in line.
You want to do it?
I can't.
Page 7?
So I mean, within 6 days, is that what you're saying?
Give them 6 days.
Go for it.
Sorry to throw a wrench in
I
things.
just feel like all I'm doing is doing it all.
I move
wanna
to
give a
enter
chance
an
to
order
explain.
finding the respondent in violation of code and requiring the respondent to correct the violations within 6 days of the board's written order. If the respondent does not comply within the time specified, the city may take all reasonable actions, including entry onto the property to abate and maintain the nuisance, and charge the respondent with a reasonable cost which will become a lien on the property. If the costs, fines, and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
A second.
And
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate you letting us approve,
Glad we
get
could
out there.
move forward
Thank
with
you.
this. Is there any more business to come before the board? All right, this board is adjourned. Thank you.